Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, definitely come check us out. We'd definitely love to have you. And that community was put together specifically for our coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, definitely come check us out. So today I want to introduce you to one of the members of our community, Edward. Welcome, Edward.
Hi, Extus. Thank you very much for having me here.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. So tell myself and the rest of the community, what is it that you do?
I'm partnering with individuals and organizations to basically to improve the results by developing the personal leadership of the individuals and for a better team performance.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm actually doing is I'm coaching one-on-one individuals on those areas on which they are struggling the most with. And I'm coaching also teams to get better results through to working better together.
Yeah, awesome. So what got you on this path? What got you sort of helping companies and teams?
Actually, I have been part of these companies for many years. So I come from the corporate world. I have been working in big organizations for, I would say, more than 25 years. Since I started as a junior engineer working for IBM many years ago. And then I evolved in the organizations. I worked for 4 different companies in 3 different countries. So I have been working with teams and growing individuals inside my organization for many years. So at some point in time, I said, but actually this is what I like. I love doing that. And I decided to move forward. I created my own company. And I'm doing that not only for the individuals and teams of one specific organization, but also for any organization, individual that would resonate with these concepts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Now, how do you work with clients? Do you work with clients, local clients only? Is your business global?
Actually, it's a mix. I'm working locally, face-to-face with different organizations. And also I'm coaching teams, more individuals than teams, coaching them online.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Now, who's an ideal client for you?
I'm now working with 2 different type of clients, that is individuals and teams. And they are not exclusive. One individual can be coached individually and as a part of a team. So the ideal client is that individual that is a very good professional, that has been working in organizations for quite some time, and that has been appointed or promoted to managerial position, a position where leadership position, where you take care of your team and you have to have a complete different set of skills than the ones that you had being a very good professional. So this would be my ideal client. And in that transition from, what I have observed is that in that transition from being a very good professional to becoming a leader, a manager in one department, in one organization, is a mental shift. You have to think completely different. It's not, you are not expected to be expert on your area of expertise. If you are an engineer or you are a lawyer or you are a nurse or whoever you are as a professional, when you become a manager, you have to change your expertise in people skills. So you have to shift your focus from the details of your profession to being able to motivate your team, to work with them, to grow the individuals. So this will be my ideal client, a person that has been very good professional and that has been moved to a managerial position, and maybe he's struggling and he needs some support, some guidance from that point of view.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So you're ultimately saying, as professionals, individuals, whether it's in a company, they might start off with just the technical skills, right? So that might be a good, maybe let's say electrician, but they have some type of technical skill and they've gotten really good at that. But then maybe say they get promoted to maybe a manager or something, all of a sudden those technical type of skills, they don't translate so well because they have to now work with other people, right?
Exactly. So I put the example of engineering because I'm an engineer myself. So if you are an engineer, you have been working for some time in one department, in one company, and all of a sudden you have been promoted as a leader of your group. So your expertise has to shift. You have to become expert on managing people. And rather than continuing becoming an expert on electronics or design or whatever your area of expertise is. But since your results as a group, as a team, depends on how your team perform, you have to become expert on growing people, motivating them, and achieving a very good environment where people can achieve very good results that at the end you are going to benefit from.
Mm-hmm. So what do you find typically happens? So let's say someone, they go through, they get promoted, but they don't maybe seek out someone like yourself. They just try to keep solving the problem the same way they've always done it, which is, let me just work harder, or let me just go do what I'm just good at, and everyone else will figure it out. How do you, what do you find?
Well, what I have, the pattern that I have found is that since you are an expert in that area that you have been promoted as a leader, you tend to show everybody how you would do things, because usually if you are promoted as a manager, usually you know more than the others about that area of expertise. So what usually happens is people keep struggling, trying to show that their way is the only way to do that, or is the best way. So when you have a team and you have to impose your way to the others, you just demotivate the people, you don't allow creativity, and at the end, you become the bottleneck because you want to control everything. You become a micromanager, as we call. You want to control everything. Nobody does anything without your approval, and the organization is not working, and you are stressing yourself out. So this is not the best recipe to grow as a manager, and especially for those coming from a technical background. This has not been taught in any school, in university. So you have to learn by yourself, saying, okay, now I'm the leader. My job is not becoming the best professional among the members of my team. I have to be the leader of my team, and then I have to change my behavior and my mindset. And many people are not equipped with those skills, and they struggle big time. At least at the beginning of their period that they become responsible for a team.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Good stuff. So how do you typically recommend someone who comes from that kind of the technical background, when they do get into working with teams? How do you, what's your process for, how do you see that transition needs to happen? What do you find, what do you think they need to do differently?
Mm-hmm. In that environment where you are treating with human beings and behavior, there is not a kind of a written in stone process. Each individual is different. Each person has its own bias. Each person needs to develop some specific skills. But generally speaking, the process is to start learning those skills that relate to other people in your team. So you have to be more empathetic with your comments. You have to become a better listener, that usually we are not a very good listeners. You have to encourage teams, members of your team, to make mistakes, to try new things, because everything that they try will not end up in the best way you would like. So you have to create that environment where everybody feels you being the leader, you are there to support them, not to do their job, not to tell them specifically what they have to do at every single step of the process, but to creating that environment where they feel comfortable by being creative, working together, being open, and these are the basics to make a group becoming a team. And then and by doing that, you are the leader. Nobody's going to remove you from that position, but you have to realize that the results of your own results don't depend on you, depend on your team. So your focus should be on how your team do things rather than how good I am doing what I did in the last, I don't know, several years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're ultimately saying coming from a place of you just being that one person who's responsible and trying to say, hey, here's how everything should be done and you should do it that way because that's how it worked for me. You're saying shift from that to more saying, okay, we have a team and there's different people with different skills, different communication styles, all these different things. How do you kind of empower them to use their skills to the fullest advantage based versus just saying, no, here's how I do it. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's exactly the words that you used. I cannot tell people, well, I can, but it doesn't work like that. I cannot tell people, do that because that worked for me. Maybe that worked for me and is my way. I have my own personality, my own background, my own way of doing things, and you have a totally different one. So the thing is not forcing you to do my way because I was in your position before and I know better, but is to help you to find your way to do things better, even better than I did in the past. Doesn't matter how good things I did, you can do it better, but do it your way, just respecting the parameters we are working with in the company.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Now, also, what about from the team's perspective, right? What are there? Do you believe that the team, everyone on the team, is the right fit to be on the team? How do you decide when someone is not a good fit for a team?
Mm-hmm. Well, team. Now we move from individuals to teams, right? So team is really a complex environment because it's the results of personal interactions. We are already complex as individuals, each one of us. So if you add the complex interactions with among the different members of the team, you get to a very, very complex reality. So in a team, the best thing to have, and many teams struggle on this, because the individuals want to impose themselves, and each one of them want to fight for their own piece of power, and to become kind of a herd and influencing the rest of the team. So in the team process, there is the relationships are very important, as you said. If we don't have very good personal relationship, we can be a group of people very, very smart, the smartest people in one specific area. But if the members of the teams don't have that good personal relationship, this team is not going to work. And also the environment, the relationship of the team are based on trust. So if there is no trust on the team and there is some hidden tensions and hidden relationships that no one knows, hidden agendas, everybody has its own interest being on the team. So this creates a really, really, I would say, create a sabotage for the organization, because the team itself implode and get much worse result that would get the addition of the results of the individual members.
Mm-hmm. That's some pretty good stuff. I love it. I love that insight you just shared here. Now, the question now becomes, how do you feel like, is a team like a self-organizing thing? How do you find, what's your view on this?
Well, this is the ideal. The ideal is called, but this is the stage, a very high stage in the team performance, is called self-managed teams, where it's a team that itself can solve its internal problems and can create that environment where everybody is able to have its own voice and to be accountable for each other on the results that they do. So this is the self-managed teams that I would say is the highest level that everybody aspire to have that environment in his organization. Unfortunately, the reality is much different. So most of the teams they don't have that trust that is required. They are not working together, even they say, because if you compare what is said on the team versus what is not said, you find there a very, very big gap that at the end this creates a tension that is not bringing the team any good results.
Mm-hmm. So the question now becomes, how do you get a team working together?
So exactly what I was commenting. First is the relationships. So if you, as a leader, if you only focus on the technical outcome of the team and you overlook the relationships, for example, you will never get a very good team. So you as a leader have to be observant that the relationships among the members of the team are very good, and you should promote and not tolerate certain things that don't go in the direction of having a very good relationships. So this I would say is the first point that for me is key: relationships among team members. The other one is having trust among themselves. So if you have a very good relationship but you don't have trust, at the end you are not able to make your voice heard in the way that is useful for the team. And you get to a point where many people don't say, other people say partially what they think, and the real situation or the real discussion comes outside the team. So there are subgroups that are formed. There are influences that are not seen on the normal team environment, but they exist. So these are the few things that are the fundamentals. Without this, any team can perform.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So you're saying in a team, there's the dynamics, which is what you see. If there's an office or something, you might see 10 people and they're all in a room and they might be communicating, but you're also saying that there's also subgroups. When those group of 10 people leave that room, they also have their little subgroups inside that, and the things that sometimes they don't get said in the meeting, they're being talked about out there, right?
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Good, awesome. So, and the core thing you said in terms of when it comes to teams is basically just promoting the relationship. Do you believe that that's a core, because you said it's the number one, so do you believe that promoting the relationship to where they're able to communicate with each other and solve these teams? If someone aspires, if someone really focuses on that, that's going to solve a lot of the future problems that could be shown?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. So if you don't have a good relationships, well, you can have a very good individuals one by one, but the team should be more than the just adding up the individual contribution. But if you don't have a good relationship, at the end is even worse. The team performs at a lower level that adding the individual contributions of the members.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now, how does someone come to know that? How would someone do most individuals have someone like you to help them with their teams and to help them progress, or is it something they're just trying to do on their own? What's your experience?
That's a very good question. Because what organizations usually do is, there is a team here, I don't know, 10 individuals, and there is a leader for the team, a manager, and this manager tries to figure out all the problems and try to manage as the best as he can. But as we commented earlier, that manager maybe in most of the cases is like that. They don't have that skills to manage people. So they are very good at what they do, but they don't have those skills to really be able to coach a team in a way that that they change their environment, their relationships. They promote a cooperative environment on them without a directive approach that many managers still are using, the approach that was used in the 80s or 90s. Today, everything is changing, including the generation that is coming to the organizations, like the millennials. And you have to adapt yourself. Many managers are not there. They are used to manage being very directive. And in this way of managing, you create yourself that kind of scenario that I was commenting before, that is not a good communication, not good relationships, hidden agendas, a lot of hard egos in the team. So usually organizations try to rely on the manager, on the manager of the team, to readdress the performance of the team. But more and more, now that coaching is becoming part of the organizations, they start relying on somebody from outside that join this team for several days, for a few months, and you observe from outside with your own eyes, without the bias that these company members have been working at for several years. So with your coaching skills and with that outside view, you are able to spot many things, to suggest many ideas, to encourage the team to try different things that they usually don't see because they are working in a total different mindset.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Love it. Love it. That's some pretty good stuff. Because I knew what you did, but I got some really good clarity on there as well. So that's one of the reasons I love doing these interviews, because again, I know you're definitely pretty good. You're one of the best at what you do with helping individuals and teams. You're definitely one of the best in my eyes. So the question now becomes, if someone wanted to be able to reach out and connect because they realize they could benefit from your services, what's the best way for them to do so?
To connect with me, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, they can find me in LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn. I'm putting also out some several video content in my YouTube channel, and they can also reach my website. That is H4Human, H4 human.com. So that will be a very good way to start a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And guys, so if you're watching this interview on the live or on the replay, be sure to connect with Edward. If you know anyone who could benefit from his services, whether it's an individual or a team, I highly recommend reaching out to him and making that introduction. Well, Edward, it's definitely been a pleasure having you on here today. Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
No, thank you very much, Extus. I really appreciate you having me here, being able to explain what I'm doing, because sometimes it's not so well known or so easy to understand. But I hope I gave a quick overview of the area where I'm working with.
Awesome. You did, and definitely appreciate that. Well, hey, thank you so much.